Hi, it's Warren Huart here. Hope you're doing marvellously well today. I would like to talk to you about recording of the electric guitar. We've touched on DI recording, which is pretty straightforward, going into your DAW. But now we're going to be recording guitar with a little amplifier here, using the Fender Pro Junior, my lovely Yamaha Pacifica guitar. Please be sure to go to the link below and sign up on the email list there, and you'll get exclusive videos and files to download and edit yourself and mix and master and compress and EQ and all that kind of wonderful stuff. So please go down to the bottom there and sign up for the email list. So let's experiment with some different positions here on the mic. The mic I'm using is a Shure SM57. I've got my lovely Pacifica. I've got the Pro Junior. I'm actually boosting it a little bit here with the Hydro Boost, a Carl Martin pedal. The reason why I'm doing that, frankly, is just so we can get a little drive out of the amp without it being unbelievably loud. Because even a little amp like this puts out a lot of output. So I'm going to put on my headphones. So at the moment, we have an SM57, which is a relatively inexpensive dynamic microphone. Pretty much the industry standard for guitars and snare drums, etc. It has a nice presence lift at like 3 to 5K, so it's really good for guitars and snare drums. So it's pointed directly at the middle of the speaker. The speaker itself is right slap bang in the middle of here. So if we go to the middle, that's where the cone is, which sometimes a metal dome, sometimes a soft cone. That is where the guitar sound will be at its brightest. It's a pretty bright tone. Now if we move the 57 to the outside here, let's go right to like where the edge of the cone would be. Unfortunately you can't tell here, but if I put my finger here I can feel where it, it's all the way around here. So let's go right to the edge, and it's going to get pretty dark. It's not that dark because we've got a bright guitar sound going on, but it's darker than the center. So we can move it. So that's some basics in positioning of the mic. You can go to the center, you can go to the outside, you get a darker sound. To be honest, I kind of always favor the middle a little bit, but I slightly off-access it. So, if this was the center here and here's this outside of the cone, I just kind of go somewhere in the middle. Towards the center of the cone. I like that little extra top boost. It gives me a little less to mix out. But of course, you can pull away from the speaker quite considerably and get a more balanced sound, a more even sound, which a lot of people do. They might come back here. We're about, what is that, like 8, 10, 12 inches maybe, like here. Let's go for let's move this back a bit, that's like about 12 inches. And that will give us a more balanced sound. It's a pretty great sound. Personally, I like the upfrontness because, if I start compressing this guitar in a mix and there's a lot of ambience going on in the room, you might find that, that dry upfront guitar that you really wanted, that kind of, Queens of the Stone Age or early Sabbath tone, it doesn't really happen once there's a bit too much compression, or limiting on the guitars or even the final mix. So I personally like the close miking. And I will, like I say, I go about here, so it's somewhere in the middle between the center of the cone, and off a little tiny bit off axis, and I get a best of both worlds. But like I say, I don't mind the excessive brightness. I find that actually a boost in my mix, and it saves me having to boost a lot of extra top end on the electric. It's already there from the amp itself. So it's a great tone. I love using little amps. I mean, I do use a Marshall all the time, a Marshall cab with 412s in it, because I like the sound of vintage 30s or vintage 25s. But small amps like a little Pro Junior just give you a great tone, a lot of variety. They respond really well at lower volumes. I can drive this amp super hard. A Pro Junior is a great amp. There's a lot of small amps on the market I'd recommend, but this is pretty inexpensive. And then you can blend, obviously, these tones with you know, your onboard DAW sounds, whether you're using, you know, 11 or Amplitube, or if you've still got it, the old version of Amp Farm, etc. I think Waves makes one as well, guitar one. They're all great, and when you blend them with real tones, you can get a lot of variation. Anyway, so please go down below there and subscribe and sign up for the email list, and you'll get exclusive videos. We have a drum one up there at the moment. We're going to have a piano recording, and we'll do more guitar stuff, etc. on there. Plus, you can download some files where you can edit and mix and master and do all kinds of fun stuff. The same files that we're recording, so we can sort of all be in sync. So thank you ever so much for watching, and have a marvelous day.